everyone, welcome back again to the 80s Movie Den. So for this episode, we are going to do part 7 of my 8-part series, 1980s action stars. I've got about 3 or 4 more stars that I would like to add to my list, but unfortunately I've only got 1 spot left after this episode. But for episode 7, I've chosen Carl Weathers. Carl Weathers, to me, is an underrated actor. He's best known for his action films, his athleticism, but he's actually quite a good actor. He was born in New Orleans in 1948. Unfortunately, he just passed away this year on February the 2nd of 2024. He played football in college. He was undrafted after college, and he ended up playing 2 seasons with the Oakland Raiders. And then he moved up to the CFL and he played a season with the BC Lions. It was at this point where he was aspiring to become an actor. And he was actually an extra in a few films while he was playing professional football. Basically, once his playing career was done, he got into acting. And he had a few small roles here and there, but his claim to fame obviously came when he was cast as Apollo Creed in the Sylvester Stallone film series. He was obviously very athletic, so he could portray the role of a boxer quite easily with his athletic background. But I noticed over the years, watching him, and it's kind of neat when you're watching movies, when you start watching movies at a very young age, and as you continue to watch those same movies as you grow in age, you start to see different things in films. You start to notice different things about the characters and their abilities. One thing I've really noticed is how good of an actor Carl Weathers actually is. He's quite a good dramatic actor, and his athleticism goes without saying, but he is quite a good actor. There's this funny story about him when he was reading lines for the part of Apollo Creed. He was reading lines with Sylvester Stallone, and after they were finished reading the lines, he said, if I had better actors to work with during the readings, I'd probably do a lot better of a job. And he actually said that to Sylvester Stallone, which was quite funny. Needless to say, he still got cast as Apollo Creed, and the rest is history. But not only the Rocky films, he was in Predator. He starred in his own film, Action Jackson. Now, I've never seen Action Jackson before. I've heard of it, obviously. That's a movie that I've got on my list to pick up and check out. He also played a lot of smaller roles. Later on in the mid-90s, he was in a couple of Adam Sandler films, Happy Gilmore. He was also in Little Nicky. Most recently, he had a role as, I can't remember the character's name, but he was in The Mandalorian. And he was excellent in that series. And it really went to show how good of an acting range he did have. He just wasn't a brute or an athlete. But yeah, I feel like he definitely deserves to be in the top 8 of 1980s action stars, solely because he was in the Rocky films. And for that reason alone, he deserves to be in there. I was watching some of the scenes, the behind the scenes footage of the practices, the fight scenes, like the boxing matches that he was having, and it was pretty intense, and it was really neat to see how much work goes into choreographing a fight sequence. You watch the 10 or 15 minute fight sequence in the movie, and it's laid out pretty simply for you, but the amount of time and effort that goes into putting that together is remarkable. And he was quite excellent. So yeah, so Carl Weathers is number 7 on my list of top 8 action stars of the 1980s. Let me know in the comments below if you feel that he qualifies for a spot. I certainly believe that he does. The Rocky films and the Rocky franchise is one of the biggest, most important movie franchises, not only of the 70s and 80s, but in movie history. And he played a very, very important role in that movie. So Carl Weathers makes the top 8. Let me know in the comments what you think. Stay tuned. I have more episodes coming. Every Saturday I put out a video. For those of you that are new to the channel, thank you very much for coming on board and checking it out. I appreciate you being here. My content, it's an 80s based movie channel, and I also cover popular culture from the 1980s as well. Figures, posters, all kinds of novelty items. I also cover movies and popular culture of other decades as well. So thanks for joining. This has been the 80s Movie Den, and as always, we'll catch you on the next one.